Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of the Uchu Sentai Kyuranger finale episodes. That is 47 and 48, because I wanted to try out that new Toku News video last week, and there wound up being two of them. I just decided to bunch up the reviews, so I kind of reviewed like an hour finale, which is kind of funny because, honestly, both of these episodes, the way they're structured, honestly, they both could have functioned as a finale if just tweaked a little bit. Even last week's, like, they both reached a conclusion in a way that they could have ended it off there. It would have been even more rushed, but still, I really wish Sentai would adopt a little bit of like stuff we do here in the US with like actual two-parters. Like, the thing is that Rider and Sentai will do that for like arcs in the middle of the series, but for finales, often more so in Sentai, they feel the need to like close off the episode in a way that there's a cliffhanger, but it doesn't flow well. Like, these two together, for me, didn't flow together as like, this is an hour-long episode or a 40-minute long. It definitely felt like two separate episodes. And the only reason that's a problem is, like I said, they both kind of flowed like they could have functioned as a finale, and it felt like we were stalling for time. And it very much functioned like a boss battle. Like, you know, they're like, oh no, we defeated Dawn. Or not, oh no, yes, we defeated Dawn. And they're like, no, I actually absorbed your friend now. You have to fight me again. They're like, we defeated him again, yay, credits. And they're like, nope, I'm super powerful now because I did a thing and now you have to use a different method to defeat me. And it very much felt boss battle-y. But setting that aside, I thought they were both solid episodes. I definitely have some issues with some of the way it ended, but for the most part, I'm okay with it. 47 was I actually liked 47 a little bit better structure-wise. I thought it was really nicely done, you know, picking up after Commander's sacrifice and Sergei getting kidnapped, Dawn-napped, in a way. It was this really quiet first, I want to say half, maybe a little more of the episode where they were all just kind of on the ship. You know, it was really nicely done, I thought, just to kind of calm before the storm bit, and, you know, talking about what they had to do, and talking a little bit about how things have changed in their dynamics. Ghost Age ruined that forever. You know, since the beginning, and then sort of leading into Lucky saying you're going to need to do something, you know, to put your lives on the line. And then we cut to a battle, and it was pretty cool, I thought. It was a little bit rushedly done, but I like that they had this long battle, basically, and they used sort of like day and night effects to make it seem like the fight went on a long time. But I thought it was kind of neat. Like, could it have been better done? Sure, but I like the idea that they made this seem like an epic battle that was going on a long time, because this is a huge army they're fighting, and they all got these really cool moments where they were taken out unmorphed, and obviously, you know, they're not really taken out, because Sentai would not take out most of the cast before the finale anyway, or like in the finale, but this was before the finale. But it was all in service of this kind of weird Toku nonsense plan of, they're like, oh, we just all wanted to absorb in you, and we all met inside of you, and then they freed them all, via Lucky, like, pulling a classic Vampire Diaries, Once Upon a Time, reaching in and pulling out his heart, so it wasn't his heart, it was putting his Kyutama in. And it was really funny. It was like a classic out-of-context Toku Twitter screen grab where, Lucky was like, I jammed this inside of you, and then he was like, ... my Kyutama, or something like that. It was really funny. But yeah, they freed, and they're like, ah, we won, and then he's like, nope, now I'm all of a sudden gonna absorb everyone's souls, and now I have this new form. So that was kind of dumb, and the whole way it worked was kind of cheesy and like a, you know, an easy fix, like, what's it called, Deus Ex Machina, I think, like that. It felt weird with that, but I liked the scenes leading up to it. Like, I liked the battle scenes and the scenes on the ship. But yeah, and then leading into the finale, it was honestly pretty generic stuff. I mean, we actually found out where Dawn comes from, which, honestly, when I was watching 47, I was like, you know, since we did all this stuff with Cuervo and now with Sergei, we're probably not going to find out where Dawn came from. He's just always going to remain like, oh, it's just an evil that came out of nowhere. But we basically find out he's made up of like all the negative thoughts of people, more or less. And that kind of reminded me, if I recall, of Apocalypse from Digimon Season 1. If I remember, like, it was built up of negative energy. So it's kind of a weird thought. And that's something I'll get into probably more in depth in the Kyuranger series review. But it kind of makes sense. Almost feels like the Force in a way. Where, like, the universe, you know, all the negative thoughts birthed Dawn Aramage somehow. And that's how science works. And so then, like, the universe manifested the Kyuranger powers, I guess. So it was like, light to meet the darkness. That's the way I interpreted it. It's very basic and cheesy. I wish there was more to it. I don't know whether it would have been better or worse if he was just some sort of evil that all of a sudden rose up, but I'm actually kind of happy they at least said something. I honestly didn't expect it, and if he would have just been an assumed generic evil that came in and ruled, I don't think it would have been awful. Like, I probably would have mentioned it, but I wouldn't think it was detrimental, but I'm just surprised they even said anything at all, because I thought they put all their chips of, like, explanation in on Cuervo's stuff. But yeah, and it just seemed weird and like a last minute write of like, how do we make this finale epic? They're like, oh, we'll just have him absorb everyone, and it's like, why bother going out and conquering all these planets if you're just gonna blow up everything and then absorb them to get your ultimate power? I don't know, it seemed, the villain was rather weak for that, but it was pretty generic. He's like, ha ha ha, I have one, negative, and they're like, no, the day is saved thanks to positive thinking, and then they blew him up. He's like, ha ha, no, Mecha, and they're like, no, Mecha, we blow you up, and he's like, nah, I'm gonna take over Lucky's body and put you out in space, and then he's like, no, positive thinking, and then they won. And then we got epilogue-y stuff, which was really nice. It felt kind of rushed because like the theme was playing over it, and it was like, hey, wrap it up type of deal, but it was nice to get epilogue-y stuff. Sparta opened his restaurant, Champ's back to being a champ, like literally. I believe it was Stinger, Kotaro, and Raptor that are essentially mainly running the Kyuranger side of things, kind of cleaning up the remnants of the Jark Matter Empire, it seems. Lucky and Garu are out there exploring the universe, and they make it back just in time for this party, but I don't know, I like that both the scene of Lucky in space when Dawn pushed him out and him and Garu mirrored the pilot stuff, the beginning of the series. I like that. I always dig stuff like that bookends it. But why wouldn't they just travel in their Voyagers? Especially since, like, 2 minutes earlier we see Kotaro approaching Orion in his Voyager. I don't know, like, that just didn't make sense to me. Maybe they are in their Voyagers, and they're just idle in space and they're coming down to Earth on their bike. Who knows? But so that's what they're doing. Hammy is studying to become a teacher. Naga and Balance are going around basically cleaning up the treasure that Jark Matter stole, and now they're re-stealing it, I guess. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anybody, because there's so many characters. I was gonna say Garo, because I whispered out Garo. And Sergei is back to being president of the universe. So yeah, it was a really neat, like a bow, put on a bow on an end, but I liked it. I liked the epilogue. And overall, I thought they were 2 solid finale episodes. I think that in general, the final arc and the resolution of this specifically was kind of average. Like, I was a little bit let down by it. Like, I think it could have been so much more epic, and it was very average, very classic Toku, big gloss over the big concepts, and boil it down to really simple stuff. But I still thought they were solid, and I liked the epilogue stuff. I think, like, the way they left things could make for some cool Returns movies. I know they're doing a really stupid bring back that old and busted Gavin stuff, but I hope we get, like, a proper Kyuranger Returns movie that's, like, just them. Like, we don't need any, like, interlopers in there. But I really did enjoy the series, and like I said, I'll get into that in the series review. But for the finale itself, I'd probably give 47 an 8, and then I would give the finale a 7.7, I would say. Like, the only reason is, it was solid. It was, like, generic but solid. The only reason it doesn't get, like, an 8 or higher is just because it was so nonsensical. And Toku can be like that, but I just prefer a little bit more clearness, I guess, in some of the things, and less weird big concept stuff. But it was overall solid finale, and I liked the epilogue ending, and I think that things ended well for that universe. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Dawson Ryder, signing out.